Welcome. Today, we are breaking down how you can use AI in your academic work, not just effectively, but ethically. Okay, let's just dive right into it.
So, you've probably heard all the mixed messages about AI, right? Some professors are warning against it, but then you see some universities kind of embracing it. With all that uncertainty, you're probably wondering, what's okay to do and what actually crosses the line into academic misconduct? Let's get that cleared up.
And this is really the heart of the problem. Universities themselves are still figuring this out, which leaves students and researchers kind of caught in the middle. You've got some schools that see AI as a helpful tool for things like brainstorming, but then you have places like Oxford and Cambridge that draw a really hard line, basically banning it for final papers to make sure you're the one doing the original thinking.
Okay, before we go any further, we have to talk about a huge risk. AI can, and it absolutely does, just make stuff up. It's called a hallucination, and what's wild is how convincing these fabrications can be. There was a study where an AI provided fake references that looked completely real, and when the researchers asked for newer sources, it just gave them the same fake ones with different dates. That's a serious risk we have to manage.
You know, the real debate here isn't just about stopping cheating. It's actually about something much, much bigger. Making sure you still develop those fundamental skills you're supposed to be learning. We're talking about critical thinking, building an argument, and doing ethical research. All the stuff that an AI just can't do for you. So let's start at the very beginning of any paper, coming up with the idea. This is actually the first place AI can be a really powerful partner. The trick is to think of it less like a replacement for your own curiosity and more like a creative sidekick to help get the ball rolling. So think of AI as a kind of springboard. You can ask it for potential research topics. You can use mind mapping tools to see how different ideas connect. Or you can get its help to take a really broad idea and sharpen it into a focused, answerable research question.
Okay, so here's the bottom line. Use AI for suggestions, not for conclusions. It's totally fine to ask for ideas for subtopics before you dive into your own research. But letting an AI write your thesis statement for you or do the heavy lifting on the analysis? Nope, that crosses a major ethical line. The thinking has to be yours.
Okay, next up, the literature review. You know, that giant task of finding and understanding all the existing research. AI can make this go so much faster. But, and this is a big but, the responsibility to critically read and verify every single source becomes more important than ever. It's absolutely not negotiable.
And I mean, some of these tools are fantastic for just getting things done faster. You've got platforms like Elicit that can scan massive databases in minutes, or ResearchRabbit, which can create these amazing visualizations showing how different papers and authors are all connected. This helps you map out the big debates and find gaps in the research way quicker than doing it by hand.
But here it is, that massive danger zone we talked about. Remember the hallucinations? Well, this quote from that study in Curious says it all. The AI just made up sources that looked totally real. This right here perfectly illustrates the #1 rule of using AI for research, which is you have to always verify your sources. I really can't say this enough. You need to manually check every single reference against a real, peer-reviewed database. Make sure it exists, make sure it's relevant, and make sure the AI is telling you the truth about what it says. Trust, but always, always verify.
All right, let's talk about the blueprint of your paper, the outline. AI can actually be a great help here, suggesting a logical way to structure everything. But you have to remember, the core argument, the intellectual heart of your paper, that has to come from your own analysis and your own insights.
Think of an AI-generated outline like scaffolding on a building. It's a temporary guide. You're the architect. You have to design and build the actual structure. It's just a starting point, not the final plan. If you just blindly follow what the AI gives you, you'll probably end up with a generic paper that's missing your unique voice and critical depth.
So we're in the home stretch now, the final writing and polishing stage. And look, AI tools can be amazing editors, helping you with grammar and clarity. But the whole point is to enhance your writing, not to erase it. Your unique voice as an author has to stay front and center.
Honestly, this is probably one of the most accepted ways to use AI. It's all about making your writing stronger and clearer. Tools can help you fix your sentence structure, suggest better words, and catch awkward phrasing, all of which is super helpful for nailing that academic tone.
The key here, the absolute key, is that you stay in control. You can see the right way to do it here. The writer gets suggestions, but they make the final call. That's ethical. What you have to avoid is letting the AI rewrite your big, complex arguments. That's a huge risk for distorting your own ideas, and frankly, it's just not your work anymore.
Okay, Let's pull all this together. It doesn't matter what tools you use. At the end of the day, the buck stops with you. Major institutions have clear rules about what makes someone an author, and a huge part of that is being accountable for the entire piece of work. An AI can't be accountable, but you can. That's the golden rule.
So before you even think about hitting that submit button, run through this checklist. It's adapted from some official guidelines. Keep records of how you used AI. Verify everything. Attribute all your sources correctly. And ultimately, own your work. You are 100% accountable for what you turn in.
And really, this is the ultimate takeaway. AI is an amazing tool. It can organize, it can suggest, it can refine. But it is not, and I mean this, it is not a substitute for your brain. It can't think critically, it can't wrestle with sources, and it can't create original knowledge. That part has to be you.
So, if you follow these principles, you can confidently use AI to enhance your work, not replace it. The goal is to make sure your final contribution is original, rigorous, and most importantly, truly yours. The tool is powerful, for sure, but the thinking is what really matters. So the real question is, how will you build your argument?